fungi are everywhere. The nice thing about cultivating mushrooms is that we can choose our preferred fungi so that we can do more foraging instead of buying. So just like when we're labeling our plants, we want to label it with the species name of the plant, the mushroom in this case, the date of inoculation, and also the species of log that we're trying to cultivate the mushroom on. That way, if we're doing this at a large scale, we can stagger our fruitings at different times of the year and get a continuous flush of mushrooms. If we're wanting to grow our own mushroom spawn, we can do that with soap dowels. I'm not going to go through this recipe because you guys will have this recipe on the PowerPoint that you have access to. So that's the step-by-step instructions on how to grow out your own mushroom mycelium on dowels. You notice we didn't wax the ends. It's not always necessary. That's more of a precautionary measure. Some people claim that by allowing moisture into the sides of the logs through the open cut ends, that allows the mushrooms to produce faster. That's just their subjective experience. I'm more of a precautionary fellow, so I wax the ends. You can also put them on lean-to stacks, and that also works, but as you can see, the bottom of the logs is exposed to contamination on the ground. You can put them on other platforms other than the ground, like corrugated metal or tarps or weed mat even. The logs are ready to fruit out, mushrooms, when they start having this dappled, mottled effect at the end of the logs. The longer we wait to induce that fruiting, the larger the initial and subsequent fruitings are going to be. So for the logs, we're soaking the logs in water for a full day so that the mycelium in the log feels like it's drowning and it'll want to reproduce, and that will cause it to send out a mushroom. Ideally, we'd be chopping the straw into lengths that are less than 4 inches. So again, surface area is our friend in this process. And we cook the straw in a vessel for about an hour and a half at 175 degrees. What's the pasteurization temperature of water? About 150, 160. We're increasing the temperature a little bit above that. What we're going to do is stuff these burlap bags with straw, and we'll put the straw in there shortly. We're immersing the straw into burlap bags that will then put into the 55-gallon drum that I have. So the steps are, we'll bag the straw into burlap bags, tie off the bags, put the bags into a 55-gallon drum, cook the straw in the water for 90 minutes, and then take the straw out of the 55-gallon drum, put it into a mixing station that we've cleaned 3 times, and then flip the straw until the temperature of the straw is down to about 90 degrees, to roughly room temperature, so we can handle it comfortably with our hands. That we'll have washed our hands again. We're dumping the bags out into the mixing station, and then we'll put it into those types of filter strip bags, and then we'll push all the air out of the bags once the straw is in there. You sometimes can put a humidity tent around it, but that's not absolutely necessary. And then we'll store the bags in a dark place for 2 weeks. The dark place can be a part of your kitchen. This is an edible science experiment you guys are going home with.
Is it supposed to be cool as well?
Cool, yep. think of the temperature you normally find mushrooms in. That would be dappled forest environment. That's the type of environment we're wanting to emulate. And then when we see the white mycelium expanding in the bag, then we can poke holes in it and allow the mushroom to exit that hole. So what causes a mushroom to fruit out? A drop in temperature, immersing that log in water, effectively drowning it, but not quite drowning it. A change in light environment. So if you allow slightly more light into the mushroom bag, that will induce fruiting. Sometimes shocks to the log are ways that ancient shiitake cultivators have been growing out mushrooms for a long time. There's pictures of shiitake logs being grown in forests in Japan, and the cultivators are wailing against the logs with wooden mallets. So for those of us who are thinking about getting into the mushroom business, these are the basic ingredients for a mushroom grow room. We've all probably seen Gothic cathedrals that have a tip to them. That type of tip in a greenhouse environment allows lights to be tucked up so that their light can be spread over the mushroom grow room as effectively as possible. And the outside of those containers the outside of those greenhouses is usually made out of a food-grade plastic coating. Sometimes the inside is also. And usually this is a tightly controlled environment that costs multiple hundreds of thousands of dollars. I'm into the more low-tech cultivation for different reasons. It's more fun. It's more like a Easter egg hunt. And there isn't all this upfront cost either. Here are some of the things that I've found that are locally available that we can grow mushrooms on. Everything from trees to different types of manures to different types of nutshells to all sorts of waste products, from coffee to even sugarcane. On the Kona side alone, there's 40 million pounds of coffee pulp that's discarded, usually around coffee trees, every year. But mushrooms, especially oyster mushrooms, could pre-compost that material beforehand. And you get a saleable, delicious product that would give a pre-composted product back to the trees. This is probably the most impressive picture I've seen of a mushroom area that's being repurposed. This is an adaptive reuse of an old subway area in an abandoned part of subterranean France. I found this mushroom after Hurricane Irene rolled through the East Coast. These puffballs popped up out in the forest. And it took us, this is sitting on a chair, it took us a week and a half to eat through the mushroom. It tasted like a combination of tofu and steak.